Hey guys, thank you so much for all the love in my very first YouTube video. We had such a positive response, and thank you for joining us on this one. We're going to be taking you through our leg day workout at this new gym that we tried out, and we'll also be sharing with you our post-workout meal.
So I think we can all agree that going to a new gym can be intimidating and uncomfortable regardless of like your skill level. We have the benefit of being fairly experienced when it comes to going to any gym. We predominantly go to a very large gym chain, which is Gold's Gym. I'm sure that even if you've never been in a gym, you've heard of Gold's Gym. I'm very familiar with private gyms like sports-specific training facilities and powerlifting gyms. But regardless of where you go or what you're familiar with, going into a new environment can be daunting and intimidating. And today was no different, or I should say yesterday was no different, because yesterday was actually the first day we went to this new gym.
We decided to try Chuze Fitness. It was a new gym that opened up near our place. It was like half distance from Gold, and a lot of our friends wanted to go try it, so we wanted to go check it out ourselves.
And I think that made it easier, honestly, knowing that a lot of our friends were going to be there, so I didn't feel like I was going to be giving up a ton of the like social aspect, because like pretty much every face that we would see at Gold's was signing up at this new Chuze Fitness.
Yeah. We saw a lot of familiar faces on our first night and our second day, but we didn't have that great of an experience our first night, probably because we went around closing time and it was very quiet and empty.
She's giving them the benefit of the doubt. I have different opinions, but go on.
So we were hitting some push, so we were doing some like benching, and Jory was just exhaling. He wasn't even grunting, but an employee came to tell him that there was this no grunting policy and that he needed to stop, and then they like ended it with like a fist bump.
No, well, she said one employee came over. 2 employees came over at different times. So I know what you're thinking. It's like, well, if 2 people came at different times, you must have been doing something wrong. Dude, there's no way. There's no way. Because I know what it's like to obnoxiously grunt. I was literally just like exhaling with, I suppose, like some strain, because I mean, I was under duress. I was like actually training
to failure.
And there were some red flags. Okay. So I was bouncing back and forth whether or not I wanted us to like mention Chuze Fitness. I don't really care about the business itself. I'm just going to be talking about this specific experience at this specific branch. The red flags were like immediate when we first walked in. We would see signage everywhere with like that like cheesy motivational stuff. Like
it said, "Let's be blunt, don't grunt."
Yeah, let's be blunt, don't grunt. And then it's like something about like they had another clever thing about like dropping the weights or something. But what I was referring to is like there were all these like motivational posters like, you deserve an awesome gym and this is it. Like let's gym without the judgment, blah, blah, blah. And when I saw it, okay, the colors of Chuze Fitness are blue and yellow. And with all that cheesy signage and the let's be blunt, don't grunt, I was like, this is essentially a Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is purple and yellow. And they have all the same stupid signage. And the one crazy thing that they have in common, like on a higher, more interesting level, is they both, Planet Fitness and Chuze, like have built their gym around the like judgment-free, like we don't judge, this is a place for everyone. And that sounds very inclusive and cool. But it seems to me, and I have experience going to many, many, many different gyms, both commercial and private, that Planet Fitness and now Chuze are the 2 most judgmental places I've ever heard of in the gym world. Because Planet Fitness literally has a caricature of a weightlifter wearing like a stringer tank top with like a jug and like a belt, and then there's like a big X through it. So literally, like they've made a caricature, of a weightlifter, and they're like making fun of it. And then this place I guess like if you train hard enough, like you are immediately put on blast, even if you're doing nothing wrong.
I respect that they try to cater to like people who are new to lifting so they don't feel intimidated by someone who's more experienced. But we're just sharing our personal experience, and I was kind of shocked to see an employee or two employees tell Jory to stop grunting when he was just exhaling and actually training.
And listen, the amenities, right? Because everything is a value proposition. You're looking at what one gym offers you for the price versus another gym. And everything is about amenities. What do they give you? If you're too busy worrying about how you sound, and you're not able to really like focus on being comfortable there, then it doesn't matter how many amenities they have or how clean the place is, because you just will not feel comfortable being there. And that's something I experienced like immediately. Within the first 15 minutes, I got yelled at, and then the whole rest of the workout, I was like busy worrying about like how I was breathing or how I was sounding, or I was like looking at her anytime I thought I made a noise, and she'd be like,
we were like walking on eggshells.
Dude, she coughed. She coughed at one point, like after her set, she was like, ugh. And we both like looked around. We were like,
be quiet.
Because Planet Fitness will sound like an actual alarm. They have the lunk alarm, so they'll sound a freaking alarm.
So Chuze Fitness doesn't have that lunk alarm, but they do have like employees
that they will just send over to you. So one thing I do really love though, and okay, if you asked me last night if I would sign up, I would say no. If you asked me today after today's workout if I would sign up, I would say yes.
Yeah, we had a better experience today, but that's because we explored more of their amenities. We went into the backyard, and since it was like more of an open space, nobody bothered us about us breathing or anything like that. And then we also checked out the lift lab, which had like squat racks and the belt squat and some hip thrust machines. And it was like a separate room, so there weren't any employees that told us like we couldn't grunt or breathe loud.
And I think what helped for me was, again, that social component. I saw like 6 other people that I normally train with at Gold's, and so all of us were kind of here checking out the new gym, and they all signed up. So it was kind of refreshing, like, oh, okay, my friends are all here. They're still going to be going to Gold's, but we now have like the secondary option if we want it. And again, the convenience of it being right by our house. The membership fee is not that expensive. There are some nice recovery amenities. It's very clean. Not a lot of people have signed up yet because it's literally the first week, so we kind of have the run of the place. All of those things right now make it seem like a win.
And the infrared sauna is co-ed, so Jory and we were able to go in there together after our workout to just relax, so that was really nice.
And that's not something I'm used to. Usually in gyms, saunas are like in each gender's locker room. So it was actually really, really cool at the end of the workout to just be able to hang out with my girl and just like gossip and talk, and it was just really special. I think that was actually one of my favorite parts of training today, and I think that will probably be one of my favorite parts moving forward. But we also had a very good workout. Like we had a very good workout.
Yeah, all the equipment I enjoyed. My one complaint about today was that the bumper plates were kind of too wide for me to grip onto.
So thick.
And but otherwise, like, we had such a great experience and a great workout today. So I'm having about 120 grams of white rice with 5 ounces of chicken breast. And Jory is having about a cup of white rice with 11 ounces of ground beef. And he's also having a pound of cottage cheese along with
a pound of cottage cheese with pineapple.
3 scoops of protein powder. The reason we're eating different post-workout meals is because Jory prefers eating ground beef and I prefer eating chicken breast. And also we have different macros. So he has more to work with. He can eat more calories, and ground beef is a little higher in fat versus chicken breast is lower in fat. So we're just fitting foods in our macros based on our preferences as well. So I just pan fried my chicken breast with some seasoning and oil, and he just pan fried his ground beef with some seasoning as well.
And I know you guys are already probably commenting about how I'm a psychopath for eating a pound of cottage cheese.
I don't
But the truth is,
that either.
it is so protein rich and it's good for your tummy. And the macros were just ideal for tonight. Unfortunately, or fortunately, we had a surplus of macros like towards the end of the night, which is fun because it gives you some wiggle room. You can eat something naughty that normally you wouldn't be able to fit in your macros, but it's also kind of stressful because you're like, oh dang,
Yeah, you
I have to eat
fit all
of this. Yeah.
To hit my protein goal.
But I finished it and there's no problem. And I finished it after eating almost a pound of ground beef.
And he had a protein shake with 3 scoops of protein powder. So I drank my protein shake before the workout because I didn't want to have that and dinner.
But I also, like she said, I also have like very different protein requirements than she does.
And more calorie.
I mean, I'm like 3 of her, right? 3 or 4 of her. So it's very different. But with all that being said, we are both eating at a deficit, actually.
So in a future episode, we'll be going over in further detail our macro breakdown, our training, our meals, and our goals.
And we're both in kind of a body recomposition phase. And so we're kind of training more of like a bodybuilder split. And we're drastically upping our volume. When it comes to our sets and reps, we are lessening the weight, and we're also trying to cut body weight. So hopefully, I mean, all of this is trial and error as well. We're kind of dialing it in as we go.
All right. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. In the next episode, we're going to be doing a Q&A. So if you have any questions about our training, macros, meals, or relationships, you can feel free to write it in the comment section down below.
Get really personal and creepy too. Make sure to get as creepy as you can.
What he said. And then you can follow me on Instagram at SammyPulls, and you can follow Jory at The Simple Consultant, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Thank you. Bye, guys.